beautiful people, attention, welcome to Mr. David Wolf.
Let's say we have a string of zeros, 5 zeros, 10, 20 zeros. What's it worth? It's worth 0. And so this spiritual element, or the self-realization element, that's the one. Now if we have the 1 in front of the zeros, then the zeros take on value. The zeros, we can fill in what the zeros are for us. Maybe zeros are economic development, or maybe good health, or maybe that house or that car that I always wanted. And so where we stand in Safatov is that it's 0. They're valuable if the one's in front. And we understand that this spiritual can have, well, it means different things for different people. We have a concrete conception to give an idea of this 1 in front of the zeros. I'd like you to imagine that you're looking at a photo of yourself when you were 5 years old. You're looking at a photo of yourself when you're 5 years old. Now, when you look at that photo, do you say, who is this person? Who is this person? No. You say, oh, that's me when I was 5. That's Robert when I was 5. That's Lisa when I was 5. That's Mary when I was 5. That's Jacob. Yeah, we don't. Okay. Now, we know from science that there's not one atom, not one molecule in your body now that was there when you were 5 years old. So we understand that the physical has completely changed. Still, there's something constant that I call David. So that's indicating that there's some constant identity. It has nothing to do with the physical. So it's in the Safatov programs, whether it's our coaching, our books, our seminars, personal growth, whether we're doing financial coaching or health coaching or relationship communication coaching, we're focusing on that, let's call it non-physical, non-material element that doesn't change with the change of the body. That's the focus. To get at it from a different perspective. Let's say, I drove here to the Western, to the Peak Potentials event. I drove here in a Toyota Corolla. So let's say I'm driving in the Toyota, and I think I'm Japanese. Let's say if I say, I feel so bad for you. I feel so bad for you. Is that empathy? No. That's sympathy. Because I haven't shown that I've understood what you're going through. Now if I say, I see that you feel humiliated because she made a joke at your expense in public. Now that's empathy. Okay? Now there's a place for sympathy. We all like a pity party once in a while. But it's different than empathy. It's different. They're different things. Okay, so we're talking about really listening to someone. Really listening to someone. And I say really listening, because sometimes we're giving the appearance of we're not really listening to what someone's saying, we're listening to what we're saying about what someone's saying. Like, oh, well, he's talking about this, but soon it'll be my turn. I'll show that I know more than him. Okay, we're really listening to someone. They've done studies in universities, and before I go there, we'll show some standard elements of what is classically effective nonverbal communication. Things like sitting squarely in an open body position, leaning forward slightly, making comfortable eye contact. And so in the universities, the students were the independent variable and the professors are the dependent variable. So the professors did not know they were part of the studies. And so the professors are giving a lecture and the students are showing standard elements of good attending behavior, sitting back, looking forward. And the professors are making eye contact, animated, obviously having a good time, spontaneous, like that. And then at a certain cue, the students switch. the students switch to poor attending behavior. Okay. And so the professors are affected. They start becoming tight and mechanical and nervous and self-conscious, and so we affect each other. We affect each other. So I have a volunteer. Be in silence, notebooks and pens down. Be in silence and be in eye contact in silence with your partner. Be in eye contact in silence with your partner. If this feels uncomfortable, be in silence. If this feels uncomfortable, raise your hand. Yeah? Okay? Be in silence. Because here's the thing. We tend not to regard each other. The situation, the environment of sharing at a deep level of honesty, of transformative communication, it is uncomfortable. And we want to send the message with our whole being, our eyes, our face, our body, our voice. We want to send our message with our whole being. That this is a safe place for you to talk about things that you're afraid to talk about out there. This is a safe place to talk about things you're afraid of. This is a safe place. We want to send that message with our whole being. Now, in a few moments we're going to begin. Partner A, you'll be speaking about the benefit you want to get here. And partner B, even if you have an urge to speak, be silent like I was in that part of the demonstration with May. Be silent even if you have an urge to speak. Be rigorous in following this process. Be rigorous in following this process. Mastery, master of influence. Mastery means rigor, means being rigorous. Be rigorous. So even if you have an urge to speak, we're not reflecting, we're not advising. Okay? So partner B, nonverbal, excellent nonverbal attendant behavior. Partner A, you're speaking. Begin. In some circles, a conversation is defined as a vocal competition where who's ever catching their breath is called the listener. So this is a different culture. This is a different culture. It's a culture of dialogue as opposed to two monologues. It's a culture of dialogue, a culture of real dialogue. We can conceive of communication as being like a flow chart here. A flow chart with, let's say, a sender sends an intended message, it's encoded in a certain way, a receiver perceives the message through the decoding. So in communication breakdown, where do breakdowns generally take place? Decoding, right? George Bernard Shaw said, the single greatest difficulty with communication is the illusion that it has taken place.
My name is Babette. Anyway, I was working with Robert, and the first time we were sitting opposite Robert, he was challenging me a lot, and but I have sort of, I have thick skin, so I was like ready to close down, and walk away. The second time though, wow, we had such an amazing experience, and he really inspired me. And I think that we need time I have to sit with my sister, who's here today, sit face to face and resolve the problems that we have with one another. And I love you, my sister, but it's time for us to sit down and resolve our issues.